My name's Elizabeth Harrin and I'm from the Ganthead blog, The Money Files. I've spent the morning with a group of people discussing collaboration tools and the future of project management technology, which has been a really interesting discussion, and there are a few points that came out that I thought I wanted to share with you. Good collaboration tools can basically save project managers money because they can increase efficiency and they can reduce the need to travel to meetings. So there's a lot to be said for making sure that you are up to date with the best technology that you can possibly have and that you know how to use it effectively. And those were some of the themes that came out of the discussion today. We had a representative there from the software provider Project Place called Frederick, and he raised the issue around the future of technology in this particular type of project management tool being collaborative planning. So the future, the way that tools are moving, it looks as if people are putting out functionality that allows project managers and their teams and their other project customers and stakeholders to collaborate effectively on the plan and make sure that that is kept up to date at any one time, which gives you more customer involvement, more engagement in the schedule, which has to be a good thing. He also talked about mobility and the fact that project managers now are expected to travel, to work on the train, and that technology needs to evolve more so than it already has to deal with being able to be used on mobile phones, on iPads, tablets, touchscreen PCs and things like that. We had a project manager there who was called Anne, and she talked about the vision that she had for the future around interconnectivity between tools. So she raised the point that project managers often have several different tools that they have to update, especially if they're working with social media tools, both in their personal lives and in their professional lives. You end up with a number of different logins. Interconnectivity allows software products to talk to each other. So hopefully tools in the future will become a lot more open in the way that they share information between each other, so that we can start seeing portal style tools which consolidate feeds of information from various different places, and again that should help us be more efficient. There was a project manager there from Transport for London, and he was talking about the challenges of being in a construction environment and not being able to access the information that you want to be able to run your project while you're on a building site, or in his case potentially underground. And he said that real-time communications in construction is a really big challenge, and the introduction of 4G next year will be a step in the right direction. And as long as the software that project managers are using can tap into that enhanced network capability, don't load with too many pictures so that the requirement on the bandwidth is lower, then information can be moved backwards and forwards in real time, and that's got to be a good thing as well. We talked about the perceived barrier to entry for a lot of project management software products, in that potentially stakeholders see it as, oh, that's a project management tool, that's very complicated to use, and really that isn't the case. So we've got to find a way to get over this perceived barrier to entry, the fact that people don't want to use the project management software because it seems too difficult. So maybe there's something there in the future that software vendors can do to make it seem easier to use, or to make the software more intuitive so it can be used by a greater number of people. That brought up another problem, which is getting the information to the right people at the right time. And you want one product that serves all of your needs. And as a professional project manager, you will want that to be a tool that will do scheduling, risk management, or budget handling potentially, timesheets, all kinds of different bits of information that you require to manage the project effectively. If you are a stakeholder, or if you're the project sponsor, you'll want to see a dashboard potentially of the major risks. Are we on track? Are we not on track for the budget? And what are we doing with scheduling? Are our main tasks on time? Which is very high level, very dashboard information, not useful for a project manager at that level. And then you'll have a project team member who perhaps doesn't understand a lot about the project methodology, but knows that they have to do certain tasks at certain times. And so they will want to see the information related to them in a different way. So tools have got to be able to allow different stakeholder groups to carry out all of these different functions. We also talked a little bit about biometrics, because if you're currently, tools require you to log in and they trust that you are who you say you are. And this is particularly an issue with social media, where you can create a profile on Facebook or Twitter and pretend to be whoever you want. biometrics, if you logged in with an iris scan or with a fingerprint, you would then end up, the technology would be able to prove that you are who you say you are in one way, and that sounded like an interesting way forward for software as well, so that you'd automatically be able to log in to different sets of tools with fingerprint or iris scanning. Apparently that technology is already out there. It's used on some corporate laptops, it's used on some tablet PCs, and obviously it's used in the security industry. So it's there, it's just not being adequately used within the project management software arena, we didn't think. So we've talked, we spent the morning really looking at collaboration and how technology can help us engage with our project customers more effectively. As a result of that, we thought about ways where the technology can evolve into the future and how that would help us be more effective, save more money, be more collaborative, and get better engagement from the people that we're working with. So I think there were a lot of ideas that came out of that, and hopefully the software vendors who were there will look at ways of educating the project managers and the PMOs in those particular bits of functionality, and perhaps develop some of that functionality that we're looking for.